Welcome everyone. Today I want to share a simple yet powerful story with you. A story about self love, self worth, and the relationship we have with ourselves. Take a moment to relax, breathe deeply, and listen with an open heart. Imagine a beautiful garden filled with flowers of every color. There were red roses, bright sunflowers, elegant lilies, and delicate orchids. Each flower had its own unique beauty, and together they made the garden a wonderful place to visit. Every day, a woman would walk through the garden. As she strolled along the paths, she admired the flowers around her. She would stop by a rose and say, "You are so beautiful." She would smile at a sunflower and say, "You bring so much brightness and joy." She would look at a lily and whisper, "You are so graceful and elegant." Her kind words seemed to nourish the flowers. But in one quiet corner of the garden grew a small flower. It was not as colorful as the others. It was not as tall or as impressive. Most people passed by without noticing it, and the woman did the same. Day after day, week after week, she ignored the little flower. One day, the flower finally gathered the courage to speak. It gently asked, "Why do you never stop to look at me?" The woman was surprised. She replied, "Because you are not as beautiful as the others. There is nothing special about you." The little flower remained silent for a moment. Then it smiled softly and said, "You water every flower with your kind words and appreciation. You help them grow by noticing their beauty. But you never offer that same kindness to me. How can I bloom if I never receive your love?" The woman stood still. Something about those words touched her deeply. Suddenly, she realized something. The little flower was not just a flower, it was a reflection of herself. For years, she had encouraged other people. She had celebrated their successes. She had comforted them when they struggled. She had forgiven their mistakes. But when it came to herself, she was completely different. She focused on her flaws. She criticized herself harshly. She compared herself to others. She rarely acknowledged her strengths. And she often felt that she was never good enough. As she reflected on this, she realized that many of us do exactly the same thing. We tell our friends, "You can do it," but we tell ourselves, "I'm not capable." We forgive others for their mistakes, yet we carry guilt for our own mistakes for years. We show compassion to everyone around us, but we often forget to show compassion to ourselves. Slowly, we neglect the most important relationship in our lives, the relationship with ourselves. And then we wonder why we feel exhausted, why our confidence is low, why we struggle to feel happy or fulfilled. The truth is simple. Like that forgotten flower, a part of us is waiting to be seen, appreciated, and loved. From that day forward, the woman decided to change. Every morning, she looked in the mirror and spoke kindly to herself. She acknowledged her efforts instead of focusing only on results. She celebrated small victories. She stopped demanding perfection from herself. When she made mistakes, she chose to learn rather than punish herself. She accepted that being human means being imperfect. And little by little, something beautiful began to happen. She felt lighter, more peaceful, more confident, more connected to herself. The forgotten flower within her finally began to bloom. And perhaps that is what self love truly means. Self love is not arrogance, it is not believing you are better than others. Self love is recognizing that you are worthy of kindness, respect, and compassion just as much as anyone else. It is accepting yourself while continuing to grow. It is speaking to yourself with encouragement rather than criticism. It is understanding that your value does not depend on perfection. As you listen to these words today, I invite you to ask yourself one simple question. How do I speak to myself when no one else is listening? Would you speak to a friend the way you speak to yourself? If the answer is no, perhaps today is the day to begin changing that conversation. Remember, every flower blooms in its own time. You do not have to compare yourself to anyone else. You do not have to earn your worth. You are already enough. You are already valuable. And you are already deserving of love, especially your own. The moment you begin treating yourself with the same love, patience, and compassion that you give to others, your healing journey truly begins. Thank you for listening.